What's going on, everybody? Welcome here to a new mock draft video, the first video of the new year on my channel. I made it a resolution of mine to post at least once a week on my personal channel, and I'm going to try to do that. We're going to start with a mock draft video. I'm sorry for the bad lighting, maybe bad camera, audio. It's an awful setup right now. I should be upgrading it soon. I do have microphones, but I just haven't figured out exactly how to get them to work yet. I was testing around with it, couldn't find it, figure it out yet. We'll get that eventually, though. We'll get into the mock draft here. No trades, as you have to pay for that on PFF, and I do not have the ability to pay for PFF's stupid trades. We're just going to go right in, acting as if there would be no trades, and I'm going to go ahead and give the Bears Caleb Williams #1 overall. I still think if the Bears decide to stick and pick at #1, it will be a quarterback, just because there's been some inconsistencies with Justin Fields, although he's played better recently. I'm not personally a huge Justin Fields believer. I think maybe he could flourish under a different system, but I don't think the Bears are the right spot for him to do that. And if you're the Bears, you get your pick of the litter here at #1. Williams, exceptional prospect. There might be some character issues. There might be some issues with just having a lot of time in the pocket, but you can mold him. He's got a lot of potential. Williams is going to be the #1 overall pick, and if Williams is #1 overall pick, then Drake May is #2. I can almost guarantee you that quarterbacks are going to go 1 and 2 this year. Quarterbacks go high. That's what happens, right? And if you're the Commanders, Ron Rivera might be out the door. We don't know about the rest of the staff. Bieniemy has done a good job with Sam Howell, but you probably haven't seen as much out of Howell as you would have liked to see, although I really like Sam Howell. He didn't play that amazing this year. He showed flashes, but you have the chance to get Drake May, who's an exceptional in the construct of the player. A lot of people ask, what's the difference between Caleb Williams, Drake May? Caleb Williams is a lot better outside the construct of the play, improvising, making things happen. Drake May is a lot better in the construct of the play, playing to what the play was meant to be. Both exceptional prospects, though. And #3 here, the Patriots probably mad that both the quarterbacks are off the board here, but I do think the Patriots are going to take a quarterback. It's going to be interesting because we are going to have quarterbacks at 1, 2, and 3. It's going to be Jayden Daniels, right? Again, quarterbacks go high. It happens. Most valuable position in football. But Jayden Daniels is exceptional. He improved so much this season under the Mike Denbrock offense with Brian Kelly and guys. Daniels deserved that Heisman. He played exceptionally well. But award play aside, he's elevated himself as a prospect. Just the processing was better and quicker. The accuracy was better. He's got a strong arm. Athletic ability is very obviously there. Daniels is a great prospect. Patriots should be happy to have him, no matter who's a head coach next year, whether it's Belichick coming back or somebody new. Cardinals here, I don't think they're going to move on from Kyler Murray, right? I think that's kind of obvious at this point. So we're going to give him a top target for Kyler Murray. We're going to go Marvin Harrison Jr., probably the best wide receiver prospect we've seen in a long time. The hands are great, the size is great, the speed is great, the mobility. I mean, the catch radius of Marvin Harrison Jr. is insane, right? Absolutely insane. New York Giants, they probably would be looking to take a quarterback. Seeing that all the quarterbacks are off the board, and I'm just going to let you guys know, yes, this is an offensive draft, so there's going to be a lot of offensive players being taken. But, man, the New York Giants is tough here. I think I'm going to give them Rome Odunze here. Amazing player from Washington, has played exceptionally well, helped them get to the national championship that will be played in not too long from when I'm recording this, only a few days. Odunze is amazing. I mean, great jump ball receiver, great route running, quick feet, good hands. He's going to be a guy that the Giants are going to be able to use as that X receiver, that #1 guy. Then you can work in other guys like Jalen Hyatt, Wan'Dale Robinson as well on the outside slot, along with having Odunze as a top target, I think, for whoever plays quarterback, whether that's DeVito, Taylor, Daniel Jones. Chargers here at #6. This is an easy pick for me. I'm going to go with Olu Fashanu. I think they just need more help for Justin Herbert, just more blocking. And I know you have Rashawn Slater on that left side. Fashanu should be able to translate over to that right side. An athletic freak for Penn State. Fashanu's a really good player. He just kind of fits what the Chargers would do with, helping Justin Herbert. They've been trying to do that for years now. You really need to do it now. He got hurt. Block for him. Titans here at #7. I'm going to give them the other offensive lineman. We're going to go Joe Alt. Will Levis might be their guy. They're going to try him out next year, probably as the full-time starter. You got to do everything you can to make it work for him. get him a franchise left tackle guy. Joe Alt was kind of down stock-wise a little bit at the beginning of the season, but he had an amazing 2023, propelled his stock back up to this top 10. He's offensive line number 2 off the board. Here at the New York Jets, right? The Jets could go a lot of different ways. I could see them taking a receiver like Malik Neighbors. Brock Bowers is here. I could see them even going defense. They already have a great defense, but can never have more. Maybe a guy like a Dallas Turner. I'm probably thinking offensive tackle or wide receiver here, but I think the fact that Malik Neighbors is still on the board, I'm going to give them wide receiver. Yes, they have Garrett Wilson, but you can never have too many targets outside of Garrett Wilson. Who's your number 2? You don't have him, right? Malik Neighbors is that guy. Exceptional player, athletic freak. With the ball in his hands, the run after catch ability is insane. He played really, really well this year with the LSU offense. Probably could have won the Blitnikoff if you had him winning it. I wouldn't argue. Great player. The Atlanta Falcons here are tough. This might be my first defensive player just because I feel like the Falcons are very, very... Their defense isn't good, right? And there's no quarterback at the spot worth taking unless you really think you're going to reach at the board for Michael Penix, who's played exceptionally well. I'm going to go Dallas Turner with the spot. Just take the best defensive player available, and I think that is Dallas Turner. Extremely athletic, fast edge rusher out of Alabama. Declared for the draft. Maybe not as bendy as you'd want an edge rusher to be. We're talking about bend. It's kind of turning the corner towards the quarterback after you get past the offensive lineman, the tackle, for an edge rusher. But Dallas Turner, high ceiling, probably will be the first defensive player off the board here. The Chicago Bears, see, in this mock, they already took Caleb Williams. So what would they do here? I think you're probably fine with Cole Kmet at tight end, so I don't think you're really considering Brock Bowers here. I think I'm going to go defense. I think the first corner off the board is where this is going to be. Terrion Arnold, I think he will be the first corner off the board. He's played exceptionally well. Teams targeted his side as opposed to Kool-Aid McKinstry's side this year, and Terrion Arnold did not let up. He played really, really well. Originally thought he might go back to school, but he decided to declare and go to Alabama, or go to the NFL draft. Leave Alabama after a talk with Nick Saban. And a very good player, physical player. He fits the Bears system well on the other side of Jalen Johnson, and Tyreek Stevenson's played well this year as a rookie. Here with the Raiders, yes, I know Brock Bowers is still lasting on the board. It's a mock draft. Anything can happen, you know? I don't plan these out ahead of time, so we'll see what happens. But I do think I'm going to go corner here as well. I'm going to go Nate Wiggins. Height, weight, speed is what the Raiders like. Nate Wiggins is a really, really good player. Could also be the first corner off the board. I wouldn't have an argument if he was. A really, really fun player to watch at Clemson. The Raiders just need DB help. They just do. It's simple as that. Vikings here at number 12. God, they need a lot, but I'm going to go edge rusher for them. I'm going to go Jared Verse. Get a productive edge right away. He's NFL ready. He's a little bit of an older prospect, transfer from Albany over to Florida State. He's played really, really well. And the Vikings just need edge. Marcus Davenport and DJ Wanham's contract are up after this year. And how much longer are you going to have Danielle Hunter? You need somebody else there to just get to the quarterback, and that could be Jared Verse. The Saints at 13 are tough. It looks like they're going to keep Derek Carr and Dennis Allen, so what do you do? Well, dream scenario, I think you take Brock Bowers if he's on the board here. You don't really have a tight end guy. I mean, Taysom Hill, Jawan Johnson, sure. Brock Bowers is way better than all of them, and he adds a blocking aspect to the game as well that can just help your run game. That'd be a great pick for them. At 14, I'm going to go Johnny Newton, Jer'Zhan Newton from Illinois here to the Denver Broncos. Not much to say about this. I haven't gotten into Johnny Newton's tape study just yet, but he is a really, really good player. Undersized defensive tackle, but great pass rusher. Broncos just need D-line help, and Newton instantly comes in there and helps. Seahawks number 15, I've been giving them guard in normal mock drafts when I do them just on my own. But at this point, you're not really going to draft a guard this high. I think you're happy with your tackles. This is a tough spot. This is really a tough spot. But I think I am going to go... I'm going to go on the edge. Again, you can never have too many edge rushers. I'm going to go Laiatu Latu. Keep him on the West Coast. Latu could fall due to just injury. He had to medically retire from football at one point, but he is a really, really good edge rusher. Probably the best defensive player in this draft, but again, he could just fall due to the medical stuff. Keep him on the West Coast, so I think that's great. Bengals here, this is an easy pick for me. We're going offensive tackle. We're going J.C. Latham. Latham's really, really good. He was supposed to play left tackle this year at Alabama, didn't play right tackle, but honestly, the Bengals need both spots. So protect Joe Burrow. Cardinals up here at number 17. They took Marvin Harrison Jr. earlier. We're going to go offensive line. We're going to take Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State. Haven't gotten into the tape from him yet, but I've seen a lot of good things from other people. Just other mock draft guys, analysts, scouts, and all that. Steelers here, number 18. This is tough. Not really. Cool McKinstry's still on the board, but I don't think I'm going to go that direction. I'm going to go Amarius Mims. I know that's 3 tackles off the board in a row, but it can happen. Again, mock drafts, you can never predict them. Wild things happen in the NFL draft every year. Steelers need protection. I don't know if Kenny Pickett's your guy. I don't know if Rudolph's your guy. No matter who you decide to go with, you need to protect them. Tackle is kind of weak over there in Pittsburgh. Amarius Mims is a really, really good player, an athlete that you can mold into a franchise left tackle. Now, I would have given tackle here to the Green Bay Packers, but I don't think tackle. There's no one else you'd maybe take here. Troy Fautanu probably profiles better as a guard in the NFL. So we're going to go, I think, just defense side of the ball and go Kool-Aid McKinstry. We don't know what's happening with Jair Alexander. There's been some things over there. He's frustrated. He got suspended for a game. So you take somebody else who could potentially be a CB1 for you. Kool-Aid McKinstry, monster athlete, extremely fast, tall, lanky. He's a good player. He'll fit right in there. Buccaneers probably mad that the DB went off the board. They could really use DB. But I think we're going to go and give them... This is tough. I think they're going to stick with Baker Mayfield. He's played well. I think we're going to go and just give them a versatile DB in Cooper DeJean. He could play nickel. He could play outside. He could play safety. He's just a versatile DB. I know he's a white corner. Let's get past that. He's a great player. He's really athletic. He returns punts as well. He's going to be a monster in the league. And he fits well for the Buccaneers, who are kind of weak at all defensive back spots, except for Antoine Winfield. So he can kind of play all over. You can use him in a lot of different packages, and that should be good for them. Colts, I'm going to finally, I think, go back to wide receiver. You have Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce. Maybe I've just talked myself out of wide receiver with those two. You have Josh Downs as well. I've talked myself out of wide receiver. I'm going to go offensive line. I'm going to go Troy Fautanu. He could play tackle, but he probably profiles better as a guard in the NFL, but the Colts could try him out at either spot. They just need offensive line help to protect Anthony Richardson, who will be coming back next year as a quarterback, as well as block for Jonathan Taylor if he comes back to the Colts next year. But Fautanu is really, really good. A mauler for Washington. He'll be a good fit over there for the run-heavy Colts. Jaguars here, I've continuously given them guard as well. I've normally given them Graham Barton. I'm going to go edge today. Like to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to go Chop Robinson. Not a guy you see projected in the first all the time anymore. Preseason he would have been, but man, is he fast. I mean, coming around the edge, he beats you with speed. He had a really, really good 2023, and the Jaguars just, again, when you're a team kind of in the middle spot looking to become a top contender, the more defensive pressure you can get, the more it helps. Chop Robinson over there. At 23, we have the LA Rams. They do need a lot of help. They need a lot. I'm going to go edge again. I'm going to go Chris Braswell. Braswell could even be better than Dallas Turner, some people think. He's kind of raising up the boards this year. Braswell is kind of the Dallas Turner's more, I'll beat you with speed and bend, and Chris Braswell is more, I'm gonna go through you. Chris Braswell kind of, Rams just need edge help. Again, a lot of teams are gonna take edge. This is a defensive draft. If you need not a defensive draft, if you need offense or edge rusher, this is your draft. I mean, you're happy with that. For the Bills, this is an easy pick for me. I'm gonna go wide receiver. I'm gonna go Keon Coleman. He's fallen down boards in recent weeks, but he is probably the best jump ball receiver in this league, or in this draft, and you don't know what's up with Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis is on or off shaky. He's not that number 2 that they wanted him to be. Coleman could be that guy. He moves so well in space for a guy his size, and he returns kicks and punts. I mean, that just should go alone, how well he moves in space. The route tree isn't that great, neither is the route running. He struggles to get separation in times, and that's normally a concern. Wide receivers that mold doesn't really normally translate, but for Coleman, just because he moves so well in space, I'm going to make an exception. Give him to the Bills here. And we're going to go wide receiver back to back. The Chiefs need wide receiver help bad, and Brian Thomas Jr. had a great year for LSU. I just think the fit is perfect there. Brian Thomas Jr. played the Z this year for the Tigers, and that way you can keep Rashee Rice at the X, put Brian Thomas Jr. on the other side, play whoever you want in the slot. Probably not Kadarius Toney, but you never know what they're going to do. Eagles here at 26. God, there are a lot of good players still on the board. A lot of guys I'd want to get into the first round. This is tough. I think I'm going to go offensive line. And I think I'm going to go... This is an Eagles type player. I'm going to take Patrick Paul here. You don't know how long Lane Johnson's going to be there. He could retire at any point. You need to take a tackle to mold to be your next guy. And Patrick Paul has been crazy at Houston. Didn't let up a sack, I think, in his career at Houston. I mean, he's an exceptional player. I think the Eagles, that's their type of guy. I mean, they love to take offensive and defensive line in the first round. Lions here, number 27. They've not had a pick yet in this first round. They have not. So we're going to give them... I'm going to give them defensive back here. And this guy I really, really like out of Toledo, Quinyon Mitchell, supposedly runs in the 4.3s. I mean, extremely fast, tall guy. I know what you're thinking. It's Toledo. He's got the player, not the helmet. He's an exceptional player. And the Lions could use some DB help from Quinyon Mitchell. Over here with the Houston Texans, potentially making a playoff run. CJ Stroud's played really, really well. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'm kind of stumped on the Texans. Every other team I've had an idea of kind of where I want to go with this. I don't have an idea, so I'm just gonna go with a fun pick. Let's go Cam Kinchens. Probably the top safety in this class, unless you're going to profile Cooper DeJean as a safety. Kinchens is really, really fun, and the Texans just go for a fun, defensive, versatile player. I mean, go for an athlete. Why not? Dolphins here at 29. I've been giving that offensive line a lot. I'm going to continue to do that. Graham Barton has tackle and guard versatility. You can play him at either spot. He just kind of fits into that offensive line. Plug and play, day one, instantly ready. Move past it. Cowboys at 30. This is where I might get fun. And I was thinking about running back, but there really isn't a great running back in this year's draft class. They have Dylan Laub on here. Wow, I'm surprised I have him actually on here. So I'm going to go Dallas. I'm going to go wide receiver for them. And I'm going to give them Emeka Egbuka. He hasn't declared for the draft yet, but if he does, he should probably be in the first round just as a shifty slot receiver. Great route running. The hands might not always be reliable, but he'll get open. And he just kind of works with the Cowboys. They need another receiver to take some pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. Last two picks of the first round here, we have the Niners. Niners are interesting. They don't need much, but I'm going to give them CB, and I'm going to give them Kamari Lassiter from Georgia. I just think, again, the Niners are going to take defense. That's what they do. And Lassiter is a young athlete. Again, height, weight, speed guy. Looking here if it'll load. It will not load. It did not load his height and his weight. Interesting. But nevertheless, they're going to take defense. At number 32 here for the Ravens, last pick in the first round, I'm going to give them... That'll be fun. I'm going to give them a guy who's risen on the boards a lot. I'm going to give him Ennis Rakestraw. On the other side of Chris Abrams' drain, Rakestraw, he's jumped off the board in the tape for me. Don't show me your ads, PFF. I don't know what's going on. It's moved to this screen. Or you just focus on me. Ennis Rakestraw's a really, really good player. And yeah, that's the first round. First video of the new year for me. It was kind of a really bad, shoddy video, but we'll get better as the year goes on. One per week is the goal. I've got a lot of other series ideas, but yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.